Welcome back to another episode of Put It on the List. I'm Francisco.
And I'm Andres. All right, dude. What do we got?
We have a packed show. We got lots of trailers, good ones, bad ones, horrible ones. We got them. We got nerd news of the week. We also watched some things, lots of things that we watched. And we put some stuff on the list, not to say the least. And we end with our world famous double feature. Let's start the show. Andres, my buddy, what's going on, man?
What's up, fool? We're gonna talk about some stuff.
I'm excited, bro. It feels like I haven't talked to you forever.
Because we haven't. We're a little delayed. But we're getting back on track. This will be fun. We just have more stuff to talk about. We have some really cool reviews, man. I'm like, damn, we're stacked. The reviews are stacked this week.
I know. We're outside.
But, yeah. But
it's hot as fuck outside.
It is AC season, son.
Yes.
You know what sucks is we have to turn off like AC and fans and stuff when we record because
I know
you'll be competing. So far episodes are shorter during the summer, and that's why.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
I'm looking at the little picture, like in the picture of me, and I look like the little fucking egg yolk that's like fucking cooking. So it's like fucking half dead, like we still got like an hour to go.
Big round yellow head. I just hit record, so it's gonna be a little while.
My head is gonna get shinier and shinier as we go.
It's gonna be a very shiny yolk.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, let's get started, bro.
Yeah.
Let's start with some trailers.
Yes, sir. All right, what do we got?
First one, Gal Gadot, because it's French, right? Or
Israeli.
What is it?
She's from Israel.
Oh, so the T silent in Israel? All right.
You're talking to the wrong guy.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. We've learned how to say that over the years.
Yes, we have. Still can't spell it, though. But go ahead.
Nope. And they have like a little preview clip of Heart of Stone, a new Netflix movie.
Yeah, it's like this trippy trailer. It's like not a trailer. It's like a skit before the trailer.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Felt a little forced, but like Gal Gadot was not going to go talk to Arnold. Hey, I'm an action person too, Arnold. Are you too?
It's funny though. I mean, like it's a shtick, and like it's like Arnold working in like the lobby of Netflix. He's making like cappuccinos for everybody, and Gal Gadot just happens to walk into the lobby alone, and she's like, "Oh, hi, can I get a latte? Okay, I make for you. I make sure everyone has energy for the Netflix action films and all that other shit." And then it's kind of like this. It's very forced and cheeseball, but it's like they did a very similar but way more fun thing when he did it for Chris Helmsworth's Extraction. He did the same kind of like, I'm going to drive my tank to work on a Extraction. And it was pretty funny. This one's kind of like, they could have been a little more creative, but it's a thing.
Yeah. Okay. One, your Arnold impersonation fucking sucks.
Good.
Mine's not even fucking, it's probably worse. But two, like I kind of don't want to remember Arnold as the motherfucker that's making lattes. Like I kind of want to remember Arnold as like him sitting on a throne after he fucking conquered everybody and just like his sword and skulls all around. That's the kind of imagery I want to go out with Arnold and should be like, yeah, I was badass. Now I just make coffee.
Yeah, how do you like your foam? You want full fat or skim? Yeah, I got nothing.
But other than that, and they showed like a minute of the trailer, which I don't know. You could have told me anything. Some shit blows up. She's riding a motorcycle or something, or she's going fast. Her hair's moving. And
she is an action heroine. What are the odds that she gets into a giant gun battle fight on a battlefield and she's still not wearing like a hat or at least her hair tied back? We'll see what happens. You know what? I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch this film.
I'm going to watch it.
I don't care.
When I watch Wonder Woman, I watched it on a giant screen, and the amount of close up shots of her face, I was not complaining, but it was like a 50-foot version of her face right in front of me. I'm like, dang, I wonder if they're gonna go for that in this movie. Just extreme close ups with slow motion bullets moving past her.
Yeah, we'll see if she gets any dirt on her face. Probably not.
All right. So that was Heart of Stone.
That's this week, but that's coming out on Friday.
And Netflix.
All right, what else we got?
All right. Next, we got Megan Thee Stallion and A24, Studio A24's first musical.
Isn't it called like Dick's the Musical?
Dick's the Musical. A trippy R-rated comedy stars Aaron Jackson and Josh Sharp as businessmen as long-lost twins who have a plan to trick their separated parents, Nathan Lane and Megan Mullally, into getting back together. All right.
You know what's funny is like you just said that and you're like, okay, maybe that's like a movie. But then when you watch the trailer for all those words you struggled through, but you got through it.
I got through it.
When you watch the trailer for that, what the fuck? Like that is like, it's like intentionally terrible.
Yeah.
Like who's like, hey, let's give you a whole bunch of money. We're going to give you even more money to make it figure out ways to make it even more terrible. And bam, movie.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned about A24. Who's like the guy that decided this? That guy should get fired from A24 because A24 has good taste normally.
Or were they a genius because they had to have like one loser to fucking tax write off all their fucking money that they made from everywhere all at once last year?
Yeah.
Because they've been kind of cleaning up a little bit, I think. Yeah. And I think they need they need to make a terrible film or something to like hide some of the profits. I don't know, man. This might be that film because this film is an absolute head scratcher. I don't know who's going to watch the trailer for this and be like, that's for me. I'm going to see that in a theater.
Dude, like, and we watched the trailer, right? And then I just read the description and I'm like, where's that trailer? Because that's none of that shit's in the trailer. And we're like, what the hell's going on? Who wrote the copy? Was there who was more fucked up? The guy that wrote the copy or the guy, did they not get the communication? There was no memos in between. Like, no, actually, this is what happened. Like, maybe that was the pitch. And then when they were done with the movie, it ended up being this. But I'm like, what?
I like how it's a musical. I'm like, oh, maybe it's going to be no, there's, oh my, I can't even describe this film. Like, I don't know. I'm going to let you watch. I don't think I can last more than 5 minutes in this one. So anyways,
I'm not a musical person, so
no.
I might join the quit club with you. I'm gonna quit it before I click it.
This film is like bananas. Just for anyone who hasn't watched it, it's like hardcore R musical, not very musical music, and it's like extremely like adult R rated, hard R, NC-17 rated, everything, and like what are they doing?
Yeah,
like it's not funny. It's not entertaining. It's just kind of like this shock value thing. I'm like, all right, shit. Anyways, enjoy it. Let's move on. That movie, no.
Yeah. All right. That was Dick's.
The musical.
The musical. All right. All right. Next up, we got The Kill Room, starring Uma Thurman and Samuel L. Jackson.
And a couple other people, too.
Joe Manganiello.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
What do you think about the trailer?
It looks okay. It looks like a movie that, like a late 90s, early 2000s movie, with like lower budget movies that can surprise you and be like, oh, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
I think it was pretty okay.
Yeah.
I want to watch it just because I love the idea. The premise is she's like an art dealer and he's like
it's gonna be like who's gonna fuck who, right? At the end, who's gonna fuck who first?
because he's a manager of like a hitman, and they have to pay off the hitman to do crimes and blah blah blah. And she runs an art dealership or an art studio, money. And they got to figure out how to make payments. And it looks pretty funny how he's putting it through this art studio. Then shit starts happening. And you're like, so it's like art meets murder. So yeah, I don't know. It's don't take itself too serious. It looks,
but then it gives you this whole art is subjective, and the value is in the eye of the beholder. And it's like these guys are doing it for laundering money, but at the same time they're like getting people to like follow this imaginary artist, the bag man, and it's like, whoa, he's becoming famous, whereas piece of shit art, quote unquote, is being valued at over $1 million and stuff.
Yeah, it's
the art world. Welcome to the art world.
Like, oh, but yeah, I don't know, whatever, man.
It was an interesting thing, to add to it.
Same thing with fucking people in like the wine world. Like those wine bottles, amazing.
Yeah,
and then you watch that documentary. People were paying like hundreds of thousands of dollars for like fake wine, and they had no idea because they really don't have any fucking idea. So it's like, all right, have fun with that shit, bro. Oh, fooling his money. Anyways, yeah, it looks fun. That's coming out the end of September, theaters. And we got one more trailer here that we were debating. Take it away, sir.
All right. This is Alice Eve in The Haunting of the Queen Mary. All right.
She's cool. I've seen
famous her ship.
And she's a good actress. She's been in Star Trek, and she's been in a couple other, like at least 3 other films that we've seen her in. She's very good.
But not lately, right? I mean,
not too like, lately. She's not like a leading. She's kind of like a really good supporting actress.
Yeah. I remember her in Star Trek, and I'm like, she's like a little too bubbly to be in the Star Trek world, but and but yeah, this trailer, man, like it was funny on the document you wrote on there, like, this is so low budget, so we move it out of the way, and just goes to show you, man, the shit that we watch to try to put this put
the show together.
Put the show together, man. We'll watch it. We'll watch it for sure. We'll watch some crazy ass shit in the past.
Like, dude, if we can get through that Dick's trailer, we can get through this trailer.
Yeah, and hey, if we got through the monsters, we can get through this shit.
Oh, you burned that back in my brain. I thought that shit was gone forever.
I'm back. But yeah, this trailer and this movie does not look good. But I left it in there because I wanted to just point out that we'll watch this shit. If it's made, we'll watch the trailer. I
mean, it's got like no money. Like, I think they had one light to light like an entire ship where they're running around where it may or may not be haunted. And there's like a kid playing a piano, and you're like, okay. I don't know, man. If you have a trailer like this low budget, maybe don't make the trailer more than like 30 seconds, because it just kept going. And I was like, oh no. Oh, it's getting worse. Oh, damn it. Just get in, get out. You know what I mean? Like you're showcasing way too much lack of budget. And movie making's hard, man. I get it. And I don't know. I this is like a straight to DVD.
Yeah, minimum. I mean, it also talks to the situation that's going on in Hollywood with the strike. And I'm like, people rearranging dates and, scraping the bottle of the content barrel,
like we got some
trying to scoop it up, trying to scoop some bullshit up. You know what I'm saying?
They're calling up the minor leagues to the majors. You're getting a lot of calls.
This guy's like, hey, I was holding this in my back pocket, but the Haunting of the Queen Mary, hey, you never know. No thanks.
There's nothing else. There's literally nothing else going.
No, we're good. All right. Moving on to news and tidbits. Nerd news of the week.
Some unhappy ones to lead off.
To start, we got Mr. Mark Margolis, probably most famous. I mean, he's been acting for a long time, but most famous probably for Theo with the Bell and Breaking Bad.
And Better Call Saul. He was
Better Call Saul. Yeah,
more
he reprised his role. Yeah.
Yeah, bummer. I mean, that dude's iconic, man. Yeah. For that role alone, you're like, oh.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
That
yeah, man.
Fucker.
But he lived a long life. So
yeah,
well, one will hope.
That was a bummer. And the next one,
we got Mr. William Friedkin,
director of The Exorcist.
Yeah, one of the scariest movies of all time.
And he did The French Connection and a host of other films. Like this dude was like a filmmaker's filmmaker. Like he went from one of the scariest films of all time to one of the bigger, craziest car chase scenes of all time with The French Connection. Like that dude did several genres. Like he was a classic filmmaker. But Exorcist made you poop your pants a couple times, right?
Minimum. I'm just like wondering, like from the director's point of view, how do you go up to a little girl and be like, "No, you're gonna scream at your mom.
You're gonna say these words
with a crucifix, and then you're gonna stab motion down here, okay?" You're like, "What?"
And action.
Nightmares. Yeah, dude, it was like that was a rude ass ghost, man. Some foul language ghost.
There's not enough soap in that fucking house for that little ghost. But
Pazuzu. That's the name of the demon, Pazuzu. Well, anyways, I found out Pazuzu's not going to be in the recent remake, or follow up or whatever it's going to be.
Because William Friedkin took care of it. But this is trippy. But yeah, sad. Rest in peace, sir. All right, moving on.
All right, Max, formerly known as HBO Max and Discovery Plus, launched and loses 1.8 million subscribers.
Not good. That's a big number.
Yeah, but I think they were actually expecting it to be more. Like,
really?
Because basically it was just all the people that had Discovery that were smart to turn their Discovery account off. Because it became one. So like it was just part of the churn. They were expecting the number to be big, but some people haven't turned their Discovery. They're just paying the other one. Shout out to my brother-in-law. What up, Dave? Turn your Discovery off. But yeah, man. Some people just haven't found the time to turn it off. So
what's funny is we switched. We're still like same cable company. But we switch packages, and our current package does not include Max, but that shit still works like a month later. So I don't understand what's happening. So I got to double check on that one. Maybe they felt maybe they were like, we just lost 1.8 million. Let's let Andres keep his one.
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't know what's going on.
Maybe it was on a different date. You got to set up.
Maybe. I don't know. But
hey, man,
all right.
Free 99 is the best price.
Until I find out they've been charging me the whole time somehow, some back deal. I don't know.
I know. You get the end of the year bill. This is the 12th month bill. What?
Anyways, all right, moving on.
Netflix delays 6 of its movies to 2024.
Basically, that means the strike. They don't anticipate the strike to stop anytime soon. As we were saying, 0 new stuff coming, so they got to like spread it out thin. And I think they put up The Haunting of Queen Mary in one of those places to kind of fill the void. I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy because they don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows, and they're just kind of like putting their ducks in a row just in case. And then maybe once everything is settled, maybe they'll move them up, but who knows? I think a lot of people are going to be shooting some blanks coming later in the season.
It's going to be a void. It's going to be weird. I'm pretty sure. I mean, they can end that shit right now with the phone call. They just won't.
Yeah.
The amount that you're going to lose and what you're costing yourselves and the damage of like reputation, like it's so bad. Like that's cheap. Anyways. Yeah. All right.
But I think out of all the streamers, I think Netflix probably is the safest bet to be, content full, you know what I'm saying? Or be like having good shit to come out. So just because they always seem like they were like a step ahead of everybody, like as far as in the streaming world, you know what I'm saying? They're the first ones to crack down on the password sharing, they had like a 10-year head start on streaming, so they kind of probably like been through the ringer of cycling all their data and everything like that. That all these other newer streamers are going through right now. So they probably have so much shit saved up, bro. We don't even know, because they'll release a list of things that are gonna drop the next month or so, and then when the next month comes, they're like, "There's more shit on top of that." They're like, they got so much stuff they can't even put it on the list.
They buy a lot of stuff from like Europe and Asia too, and India.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, who owns the BBC? Whoever has that, they're gonna have some good shows too. Because I know that. What was that one? The Peaky Blinders show? What was that? A BBC show?
Yeah.
And then they bought the rights for it, and so yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. See what happens. We're watching a lot of football and basketball.
Yeah. Dude, I bet you the NFL is like, please just keep striking. We need the ratings. But all right,
bro,
moving on.
Moving on. All right. Vanessa Kirby is Fantastic Four's Sue Storm.
So I don't think they have officially announced it, but I think it's like been mostly all but confirmed. And I can kind of see that. I like her. She's been in a bunch of different Mission Impossible films. She was in the Hobbs and Shaw film. She was pretty physical. She was in, I think, that show The Crown on HBO or no, Netflix. That I think she's like a young royal person for the first season or two. She's good. I think she's,
is it a big enough name? You think?
I don't know. I think more. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. was not a huge name when they first signed him. I think they're just trying to get like good actors for bargain basement prices, and they'll lock them in for like 30 films. I don't know, man. I like her. She's good. They said the rumor is they cast the rest of the Fantastic Four already. They're just not releasing the names. So
I wonder if it's going to be some predictable names that have been thrown out there.
We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, so that's the fun nerd news. And what's the next thing we got?
All right, man. Emily Blunt has read the Edge of Tomorrow 2 script.
Yes. Dude, they've been talking about this for so long.
Yeah.
And I think with Mission Impossible underperforming this last month, the odds of this film getting made just dropped by like another 50%. I think Emily Blunt says the script's amazing, but it's about getting her and Tom Cruise's schedules cleared or to match up. And then the funding part, and then it's not going to be a cheap film. And Mission Impossible not doing great. The odds just dropped again. So
yeah,
I don't know. I hope I don't know.
Again, I think Mission Impossible not doing great goes to show you that maybe it's not that people aren't going to the movies, but people maybe aren't going to the movies that aren't good, which means make good shit, because definitely people are going to
Barbie
and Oppenheimer.
They're all like way overperforming.
Yeah.
And they're not like these big tent event films. Well, I guess you can call them event films.
A coworker told me that his significant other has gone to see Barbie 3 times already. And it's like, and he liked it, but his partner loved it.
Wow.
And like the second time that she went with a friend, the friend had already seen it too. So they didn't even go with another person that hadn't seen it. They went with somebody to rewatch it. So,
wow. Dude, $1 billion. There you go. It takes repeat viewings.
Yeah, make good shit. People go watch good shit,
Never would have guessed. But yeah, cool. So yeah, getting back to Edge of Tomorrow too. Fingers crossed. At least I would love for them to at least publish it as a comic book or something, a book, so we can at least see what it is. I want to know where do you take that story? Because the first one, masterpiece, love it.
You should do some fan fiction.
Chef kiss, yeah. The end. Shit blows up. There'll be more jetpacks in my story. Flamethrowers.
Yeah, I would put more giant swords on the mech suits.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, even bigger swords.
Yeah.
I do the same story, just bigger.
Yeah.
And all right, last piece of news. This was a last minute edition. This is like
Mhm.
one of our listeners, Kathy. Shout out Kathy. Sent me this thing last week that they have announced September 12th as the air date of the Great British Baking Show, and that's on the BBC. And I believe Netflix is like give or take like that same week. So I'm pretty sure about 4 weeks from now we're gonna be re-entering the tent, son. I think we talked about this a little bit. Yeah, we did because last season had some issues. Not their best season. Like there
No.
was some
Like, are they
head scratching
running?
moments.
Yeah. Are they running out of shit to bake that they gotta raid other countries? Or
Not just that, but like rate them in like the worst possible way.
I know. And then we got other people that don't know what good things are.
Do we?
Yeah, that's you, Mr. Conchas are bad. Horrible
Terrible.
take.
Terrible.
Horrible
Terrible
take.
coaches. The only take. But yeah, so that's coming back and we can argue about all sorts of shit in like 4 weeks. That's pretty fucking awesome.
Last, I think 2 weeks ago, they started airing the professional version.
I've seen that one. It's weird.
Yeah,
It's not the same.
It's not the same. I like
They
it
don't-
though because I like
It's-
I like the fact that the technique expectations are higher, and I really like one of the judges, the lady. She's so funny. She's like, "Oh, I don't want to put that in my mouth again." I'm like, "Damn, that's fucking rough."
They shouldn't call it. They should name it something different because that's really what it is. It has nothing to do with the show. They're just like stealing the name, but it's a fun show. You get to see some really crazy next level work. Like you don't get to see from these other guys.
Yeah, like these guys are like exactly professionals. Yeah. You know, they're working with sugar and like sculptures.
They got flamethrowers and all sorts of crazy shit. Like, and they got like 2 days to do like one thing. You're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's coming back in a month. That's gonna be.
I know.
Dude, that's our heavy place in our household. So that's pretty cool. All right, shall we move on? We've been rambling.
I know, you and your pastries. What we watched?
All right, sir, take it away. You watched something you were really excited about.
Creepy Corner. Ooh. Talk to Me. I went to watch Talk to Me, and it wasn't a full screen. It was very light in people, but it added to the ambiance for me because I didn't have anybody to my right, and I didn't have anybody to my left, all the way down. And there was a couple of times where I'm like, I'm seeing shit out of the corner of my eye. I don't know if it's the movie. I'm like, oh shit. I'm putting my hand up to my mouth, like, what's gonna happen? I didn't have anybody to like, you know, get cozy up to just to feel a little safe. But it had its good moments. It's not a jump scare-a-thon, and it's not like a thrill a minute. It's a little bit of a slow burn, but I did like some of the payoffs, and I like that acting. At first, I was like, "Oh, it's in Australia." It's set in Australia, and so it's a bunch of Australian actors, and I'm like, that kind of like at first I was like, "Oh, is that gonna take me out of it?" I'm like, "Is this Mad Max?" Kind of thing, and but then it settled into it, and there's some definitely parts that I'm like that I was not okay with seeing. That I was like, "Oh shit!" But I ended up leaving pretty content, and I just don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But check it out.
First question: did it screw up your sleep at all that evening?
No, it didn't screw up my sleep. But they did make me think of, like, I remember I used to go, shout out merch. When we used to go watch scary movies, we'd go, if they were good, we'd go to the bar and we'd like get a drink and like calm down a little bit before going to bed. But it was the middle of the day, so I didn't do that. But I was like, oh man, I'm a little perplexed. But yeah, it was good. It's not no Exorcist. But they showed the Exorcist trailer in front of it, which was freaking badass. I'm excited for that. But it was a slow burn, but a good slow burn.
Okay. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Not for me. All right, talk to me. Recommended. All right, cool. It's on your list. Did well. Next on the list, what do we got? Yes, keep talking here.
Oh yeah, we got Hijack. Apple don't miss. Mr. Idris Elba on a plane handling business. Season finale. 7 episodes. It's funny because I thought I read it was 6 episodes, and when the 6th episode ended, you're like, what? And then you find out, okay, there's one more episode. Thank God, because you're gonna do that. It was like your blood pressure went up for a little bit, but yeah, man, it was just solid. I mean, some of it's kind of like, what are you doing? You know, like, oh, there's that one guy that fucks shit up for everybody, and so there's a lot of like bad. Like I watched it with my sister and my brother-in-law, and there was a lot of like, like discussing tactics of what these people are doing on the plane. Be like, what is this guy doing? I'm like, I don't know. They're gonna fuck it up and blah blah blah. Like because you're nervous because you don't want people to get fucked up or get messed up and so there was a lot of critiquing of these people's actions on the plane, and it was pretty cool. And then the outcome was really good, and it was just one of those solid start to finish. Let's go.
Is there a lot of tension throughout?
Oh yeah, definitely. And then, remember there's only 7 episodes, so unless you want to, like, for me, it takes me 5 episodes to learn names. So I'm like, who's that guy? That guy? Oh, who's Richard?
Only
who's
5?
Yeah. No, it's like, dude, it's like, who's this? Oh, that's Idris Elba's good name. Okay, I just know him as Idris. Whatever. But yeah. So the name thing was interesting, but overall, I liked it, enjoyed it. Apple don't miss.
Cool. Yeah, I keep seeing it. It's on our list. There's just other things that are still higher. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, there's definitely tension. So it brings in the action and stuff, but it's not like super like bang bang shoot 'em up, and it's not like this like let's duke it out, a bunch of fights. There's some set pieces or whatnot, but it's more of like, the actions that are like decisions that people make and stuff. So yeah, it was interesting. It was good. Really good payoff too.
Cool. I'm gonna watch it. Moving on.
All right, what do you got, buddy?
Jake Paul Problem Child on Netflix.
Yeah,
did you watch this or no?
No, like I told you about it, but then I didn't get a chance to check it out.
Yeah, so I got a chance. I'm like, oh, let's throw this on. I got a little bit of time right now. And I got to tell you a couple things. Number one, I've never heard of Jake Paul going into this thing. I was like, who? Never. I didn't know anything, like literally nothing. And like the beginning of the first 5 minutes of the show, they're kind of showing like who this guy is. And like he was like a young kid, and him and his brother would do like social media stuff, and they would just basically be assholes. Like they would just be little jerks and causing 100%, problems.
Yeah.
That was it. And they got like famous, and they moved to LA from like their small town and kept doing crazy shit. And I guess if you're going to be willing to be that asshole and make yourself look like a fucking idiot for like a living, they were happy to do it. I'm like, okay, not my thing, but whatever. And then one of them, Jake Paul, I guess, was on the Disney Channel for a while. I'm like, okay, that's an interesting choice. And then they kicked him off because he's having more crazy problems and just nothing but problems with this guy. Like this dude was just like the perpetual shit talker, the shit stirrer. He just loved to just create problems for like everything and everyone. And you just wanted to punch the guy in the face for like at least the first like half of the show. I'm like, what is this guy's problem? But they also kind of go into other things later on, like they interview his dad on the show, and you're like, oh, this guy is a fucking prick. And you get to see like all the problems with his family growing up and not being good enough. And he finally talks about that and starts crying, I just wanted a hug. I'm like, oh shit, it goes there. It goes there.
I just want this hug.
Yeah. I wouldn't be an asshole if I just got a hug. They go there. But it's interesting because at one part in the film, like maybe towards like the 2/3 portion of the show. It's only like an hour. It's this documentary, and it kind of starts getting like more sympathetic. I kind of started understanding where he's coming from. Like he turned like his shit talking into like a more focused area because he started becoming a professional boxer. And I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
And that whole transition is like wild. I'm like, this little shit talking guy is just gonna go become a fighter all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it was not pretty at first, but he did it. And he took it serious. And he also had, I believe, he was all self-funded because the guy had millions of dollars from all of his years of being an asshole. He had a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So he paid like the best trainers who were willing to train him and built a gym and just started learning. And then he started getting all these fights and he started winning against like professional fighters. It's like, holy shit. And they showed a ton of stuff. And I'm like, damn, this is for real. Like he was like, it's one thing to be a shit talker. It's another thing to like train for years straight and like the most hardest core thing and to like get your ass whooped. That's the real deal. I'm like, Jesus. And
so he kind of he put his
money where his mouth was.
Yeah. That's the saying.
I mean, he fought like some hardcore people. I'm like, Jesus. But
he has surprised everybody.
Yeah, I was like shocked. I'm like, this guy is actually pretty focused. I'm like, and then it goes into the other aspect of it, like the marketing aspect. Everyone calls him like a genius marketer because he just goes viral and crazy and just does like ridiculous shit, but he gets like promotions. And he was doing like these boxing matches that were not like huge boxing matches, but they would do huge money, like $50 to $70 million worth on pay-per-view just for like his crappy boxing match. I'm like, dude, like this guy is extremely successful because he's using his talents of being an asshole and marketing the shit out of it. And he knows what he's doing. And he got everyone involved. Like this guy's made so much money doing this. Like it's like impressive. And there's a part where Mike Tyson's being interviewed. And he's like, you know what? This guy brought boxing back. Boxing was like on the ropes for a long time. And this guy put like asses in seats and pay-per-view buys. I'm like, geez, like this is legit.
$80 a pop.
It was wild. So I'm like, damn. And then to watch this guy. But there was something there. And then, God, what else was there? I mean, he started calling out Dana White, which was like, I can't argue that one because Dana White is a prick to his fighters. Like he was like, pay your fighters. Like he won't. This dude's like he'll brag about losing millions of dollars at like the craps tables because he's like a gambling-aholic, Dana White. And then he brags about not paying his fighters. I'm like, dude, like they literally have to cover all their own expenses. They don't get health care. Like they get treated like meat, like by the UFC and Dana White. And they think it's hilarious. And he's calling them out on that. Like he's using his platform for good. What do you call it? It's trying to spotlight on that shittiness. I'm like, okay, he's a villain, but he's kind of almost a villain for good sometimes.
Yeah.
So I thought the whole it was an hour long. Definitely worth watching if you want to take like a nice trip, an unexpected trip. It's on Netflix, man. And they have their whole documentary series called Untold. Untold. Yeah, and you were talking about before, they got the Johnny Manziel one going right now, which I'm kind of curious about, but it's not going to end well.
It's not going to end well,
But yeah, it's a really, if you're like me who had no idea who this person was going in, it's a great hour. Like you're just like, you'll be like, you go in with your ideas and then you kind of come out different. So it was like, I was impressed. And it was like full access to like behind the scenes in the locker rooms and before the fights, after the fights, and a lot of crying. So it's definitely, it was an impressive show. I'll leave it at that. Jake Paul, Problem Child on Netflix.
Yeah.
All right.
I just want to add one thing real quick. So his brother Logan, right? Logan has veered into the WWE realm, right? Where he's going off and like they're both assholes. So right from the beginning, when he goes on in the ring and he grabs a microphone, everybody's booing him, and people are booing him like they hate this guy. And like in the wrestling world, that's exactly what you want, you know?
Yeah.
You either want to be the guy that gets cheered the most or the guy that gets booed the most. And this guy had instant heat. And it's like, it's crazy because it's one thing to have heat and then be a celebrity because he came in with the celebrity tag, right?
Yeah.
And he's been in a couple of big fights. And I tell you what, his wrestling has delivered. Like, There's
Okay.
a couple like spots like where action sequences where you're like the whole crowd is like holy shit, and like he's kind of like he's still like a heel, he's douchebag still, but
Yeah.
people respect that he kind of respects the game, you
Yeah.
know. And like there's people yelling like holy shit when he does crazy acrobatic shit. He's putting his body on the line, and it's crazy like him. And you're never gonna believe this, but Bad Bunny, I don't know who Bad Bunny is.
I
But
do.
oh, good job, thank you. That's like
Only
the first
because
one.
Bullet Train.
No, but Bad Bunny, like they're diehard wrestling people and fans, and they throw their bodies on the line out there every now and then, and
I
it's
had no
crazy.
idea. They did not talk about that at all in the
Yeah.
documentary. It's probably good that they stay more focused, but
Yeah,
that's fascinating. That
well, that was
expressed
the
even
brother.
more.
It's not Jake, but yeah.
No, I get it though. But they're like
Yeah.
they interview him a ton. Like
Oh,
their
okay,
relationship is a big part of the show. Or
Yeah.
because
So they're pretty tight or what? Because I know
complicated.
Logan has that one podcast.
They go up and down. They're like competitive, but they love each other. They're competitive, they love each other, and then it's kind of, I don't know.
All right. Well, that's cool. Well, earlier
You
I
watched
was
something.
like, yeah, we're outside, man. We're outside. We're going to the movies. The movies. We went to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Awesome. It was
Really?
awesome, bro.
Was it like Spider-Verse level? Like
right there. Right there, man.
wow.
I was like, whoa. And I just kept looking, like when you go with somebody and you see something cool and then you want to look at your friends or your family's reaction and see if they see the same shit. And we're like, what's happening? And dude, like the jokes were so funny. And like, I think they made the right decision. They made them like teenagers, like actual teenagers
who are voicing them. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was right on. And I don't know her name, but my girlfriend the bear, she played April O'Neil, which is really cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then Jackie Chan as Splinter, man. Man, dude, and Ice Cube killed it. He's the villain.
Yeah.
Man, everybody, dude, it was just awesome, bro. It was an awesome time at the movies.
It was crazy. I was watching that. It was getting like a 90 plus on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, whoa, like a Ninja Turtle animated thing. Like,
yeah.
It's because also I think that we found out the director is the guy who directed Mitchell's versus the Machines, which is my pick for best animated film like a year and a half ago or that year.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, like it's got a pedigree. I'm excited to watch this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And like half the time, like there's just like, like B-roll shots, but it's animated, so it's no real B-roll. But like you're just like looking at the art and you're like, damn, they were creative. And like some people are gonna say that, like they just bit Spider-Verse, but it's different art. I mean, it's all digital art, but it's just like different. Like it's
very painterly.
Yeah, very painterly, like really saturated. And I think Spider-Verse was sharper, more technical, and this one is more like freehand kind of style, And the Spider-Verse was really textured, and this one was, like I said, more vibey. It's like, and then there was like really no structure to how people were drawn and stuff like that. It's weird, but it was awesome, dude. It was like a really, really great experience. And we went to a Dolby screen, so the sound was off the chain. The Atmos sound, oh man, and the music and everything, and
you're selling me,
dude. Dude. I mean, my favorite movie so far has been the Spider-Verse, but this one's like right there, man. Yeah, this is right
How
there.
crazy is it that the two top animated films of the year have nothing to do with Disney?
Yeah, right, or Pixar, right? It's like
yeah.
That's good for the industry. Like we don't need a monopoly. We need everybody to have a voice.
And apparently this film is like going to kick off. Like, I think they're going to do a TV series and some other stuff involved with it. And it's doing really well at the box office.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
Yeah. I loved it, man. I enjoyed it. And like I said, everybody in the voice cast was awesome. No complaints. It was awesome.
Dude, that's exciting. That's dope. All right,
and, it was like, I mean, we've gone to the movies together plenty of times, and I know you've seen me like just laughing laughing at where everybody's quiet, and I'm start laughing. There was quite a few of those moments. And it was like, I was just like, oh man, that's fucking cool. And my reaction was to laugh. But yeah, it was like, oh man, it was awesome. The kids loved it too. It was a family movie, and it was awesome. Well done.
All right, that's awesome. High on the list. It sounds like.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Sure. Next up, we got a little fish story.
A little throwback.
All right, because the Meg 2, All
so
right, man.
Getting excited for the Meg 2. On HBO, I watched the Meg again. I've already watched it, but I'm like, we've laughed about it. So I'm like, fuck, I'm going to watch it and I'm going to take some notes and talk with you about the Meg. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. Preach.
There's just some funny. I mean, first of all, you don't go in this film trying to take it serious. Like, just sit back and relax because it's going to be like, here we go. Because here comes Andres' fucking observations. I thought it was pretty funny. Stuff that I missed the first time that I didn't even think about. I'm trying to figure out, like, when, some shit goes down and then Jason Statham has to get, like, retired, and apparently he's, like, living in Thailand literally for, like, 5 years doing nothing but drinking. And then, like, you see him, like, 5 years later and then you try to recruit him. Some shit's going down again. We need you. And, like, Jason Statham in 5 years in Thailand, still shredded, just doing nothing but drinking all day. I'm like, I'm pretty sure if you're drinking all day for 5 years, you're not going to be 2% body fat. So I'm trying to figure out what's more unrealistic: drinking for 5 years and having 2% body fat, or a fucking 2 million year old shark coming up to fight everybody out of the fucking team. What's the bigger stretch?
Maybe he's on that Michelob Ultra, bro.
Oh, maybe it's like that zero alcohol shit. Maybe it's all seltzer. I don't know, that zero sugar.
The 50 calories. The 50 calorie beer.
Maybe that's all he does. Then smokes cigarettes and doesn't eat. Yeah. But yeah, he's all yoked as soon as he's time to go fight again. I'm like, Jesus. I thought it was pretty funny. And then, like, all the underwater, like, there's so many, the whole film's underwater, and like the amount of explosions that take place underwater when everything should be like an implosion, like the amount of fire under the water is pretty impressive in this film, like, especially when they're like miles deep. I'm like, that's not how physics work, but it looked cool. What else was really funny? How many people, like, every single person did not believe him. Like, it wasn't until like the 40-minute mark where people were finally like, you might be right. Everyone's like,
you might be right.
We don't believe you. You folded under pressure. You're lying. Blah, 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 blah. We just lost more things. I still don't believe. Like, fuck it. Every single character in the film is like, he's a liar. And terrible things keep happening. Or like, we have to bring him back. We're bringing back that liar. Like, fuck, man. For like so long. And then finally, like, 2 hours in the movie, he's like, I was wrong. Like, that whole fucking thing. I'm like, goddamn, how many terrible things have to happen before you're like, maybe there is something down there? It's pretty funny. And then here's the other one. Here, this is for the Meg 2 people. It's probably too late. Situational awareness. How many times are you going to fall into the water because you're not paying attention when there's a fucking 80-foot shark trying to eat people, like, right underneath your boat? Like, how many times in this film do people just go flying off the damn boat because they're just like, whoops? You know what I mean? Like, situational awareness, man. That counts. I thought that was pretty funny. I'm like, God damn, like, zero. Here's a good one. The fucking little bubble boat he's flying around in, it's supposed to like mega proof. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And like, they have these Meg proof things, even though they've never actually fucking encountered a Meg before, that like bites the fucking bubble thing. It looks like that little Jurassic World little bubble car. Like when the T-Rex, when he bites it, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
And it like bites it and it can't get through like the fucking glass because it's like Meg proof glass, right?
Yeah.
The same fucking scene where he's like stuck in there. he kicks the glass and it breaks and he gets out. How is this fucking 80-foot monster can't bite through this glass with its fucking like 10-story jaw, but he could just kick the fucking glass and it shatters and he gets out?
Hey, he got that foot power, bro.
Something. You got that English foot prep power. I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, what, did he just kick the fucking glass that this thing could not bite through?
Oh man.
It's hilarious. It's so good. But I mean, it's fucking hilarious, man.
It's so horrible. It's amazing.
It's fucking good. And then like, and when it was done, HBO was like, other recommended movies, Aquaman.
Oh, I'm not with the Aquaman slander.
Oh man, I would watch Meg like 10 times over Aquaman any day. But dude, that shit was pretty funny. It was super entertaining. I was having a blast watching it again. That's
awesome.
I'll leave it at that.
I wonder, what are the chances that part 2 is exactly the same as part 1?
Oh, like 90%.
Oh man, I just like, now they're in a pack. That's different. But like, how many sharks are there? How many big sharks are there? Oh man. It's ridiculous. I can't wait to watch it.
How many like Papa sharks are going to show up? Like, oh shit,
yeah,
that one's. We thought that one was
how
bad.
big are they going to get? The scale is always confusing to me. They're big, but you never know how big they are because
we don't need to consist. Yeah, it changes based on the shot.
Yeah. I still remember the trailer for the second one where like the fucking shark beaches itself to like get the people on the beach. But I'm like, how the fuck did it, like, it's like, huge. How is it under the water when it's only like a foot of water?
It's got like 6 feet of water and he was like 60 feet tall. Like,
yeah. And like, God, nobody saw it coming? Nobody saw this motherfucking thing coming? Oh my God, dude.
Have they ever been to a beach before?
A trailer? I'm like, oh.
Do they know how beaches work?
Yeah. That'd be like the perfect movie to go watch, like semi-loaded. Like let's take a couple shots.
Only semi?
Just take a couple shots, like and then we could be in there just like hooting and hollering, be like, fuck yeah, like like somebody kicked. I like if the shark yells out ouch, it wouldn't surprise me. Ouch. If it gets kicked in the face and it's like ouch, I'll be like, wow, amazing writing.
The fact that homie is like punching and kicking the shark in the face.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Take that.
Oh man. Like, and back to the Meg 2 trailer, like when fucking Jason Statham is like riding the wave and the thing and he's got the spear, like how does he keep a straight face? How does it, like, it's amazing that he's not just like, this is fucking ridiculous, but he's in there seriously like, I got a spear and I'm on this wave runner and I'm gonna jump in the air and stab this motherfucker. Oh man,
because he's like, just Jason, just think of your next house that you're about to buy.
Yeah, I wonder if he asked himself like, how many people are gonna watch this shit?
Dude, it's doing really well. It just came out too. It's like in second or third place. And it's got like way less screens than like some of the others. It's doing really well for all things considered. Like this box office season, I think they said the first time in like 6 years, there were the top 4 films all made more than like 25 million or something like that, which is like, it hasn't happened in forever. Like it's usually like one big one and smaller ones, but they're all doing extremely well. The box office is making more than it has like in the last like 6 years, like just in the last month because of Oppenheimer, Barbie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is doing very well. Mission Impossible did relatively very well, and Meg is doing really well. Meg is killing it overseas too. So get ready for the third Meg.
Do you think the Meg 2 is a bad parenting choice for a 7-year-old?
Maybe get through the first one on HBO.
No, I think she's seen part of it. Like, oh, that's a big shark, she said. Like, I don't know. I'm going to ask her. Maybe I'm going to be like, you guys want to go watch The Meg 2 or Haunted Mansion?
Honestly, I don't. It does not take itself serious at all.
No,
And especially in
yeah,
the first Meg, there's a kid. There's like one of the main characters is a kid, so it's not
yeah,
like evil.
yeah. We'll
But yeah,
see. I'm gonna be like, Z, you want to watch? I'm gonna show her the trailer. You want to watch this or this? Let's see what happens.
there you go. Let me know. All right, let's get out of this.
No judgment, right? This is safety corner, safe corner, right? No judging. I don't want to hear it. No judging. All right, moving on to things on the list. Put it on the list. Put it on the list. All right,
Yeah,
man.
what we got?
First, we got one of our favorite returning shows, Winning Time on Max season 2. I'm excited, bro. I just like this kind of shit. I love it.
Yeah, episode 1's already out. I think maybe 2 might be out like now. And I'm trying to keep my excitement down because that was like the shocking surprise show for me last year. I'm like, what? Because I'm not a basketball guy, but this show was fantastic.
And what I saw for the trailer is that Larry Bird is gonna be talking some shit, and he's a legendary shit talker. So I'm like, damn, I wonder what he's gonna say. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. We're gonna see it on the screen. Yeah,
I think this weekend we're gonna try to get into some. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, what else we got?
All right. Also on Max, we got this little show. It's kind of like a docu-series from John Wilson. Is How To with John Wilson, season 3. 3 seasons of this, bro. Where like this guy just walks around recording things, and you're like, oh, like I remember one episode was all about the what are those scaffolding, all the stuff around the buildings when the construction.
Sure. Like those things that Jackie Chan fights on a lot of the time.
Yeah. And like the whole episode was the scaffolding in New York and like why it's up there and like, oh, lawsuits and this and that and all kinds of crazy shit. And you're just like, wow. And then he has his little clever quips and observations and stuff. If you want something light and kind of like breezy, 22 minutes, check out an episode of How To with John Wilson. It's pretty funny. Okay.
Yeah, you keep telling me. Eventually, I got to check it out. Looking forward to that. The next thing is we already talked about Untold, Jake Paul's Problem Child on Netflix. I already reviewed that shit. Are you going to watch it at some point?
Yeah, I think so. I like those documentaries, sport documentaries.
I want to hear
my bag. Yeah, although I don't like Jake Paul, and spoiler alert, he fought this past weekend. He fought against
Nate Diaz.
Oh yeah, you didn't watch it?
No, not yet. I'm gonna try to see if I can find some highlights. No, I'm gonna find some highlights. How about you find the highlights and send them to me? Because looking for highlights usually gives the fucking spoiler away.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. Because I watched the highlights and all right on X, not Twitter. X. You hear about that?
Yeah.
Elon Musk changed the name to X.
Have fun with that, buddy.
Anyways, all right. Moving on to the final season of Reservation Dogs, season 3 on Hulu, out now. I think the first 2 episodes are out.
Hey, it's good. I mean, the season they knew it was last season, so they're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
And I have not finished the first season. I loved what I watched the first season. We just didn't get around back to it. So now I gotta make it a point.
Yeah. And some people out there that I've talked to they're like, oh, I don't want it to come back because they felt that the second season ended perfectly. Like it didn't need to have more. But it was a great season, man. Season 2 was great and I wanted more. So I'm happy it's back and we get to see what happens and stuff. And I did watch like the first 4 or 5 minutes of the first episode of season 3. And it's that spirit Native American person on a horse. He's like, hey, welcome back, and blah, blah, blah. And he's talking and he's doing his bit. And he was like, this is the spirit world, and blah, blah, blah. And it's pretty fucking funny. It's like
funny.
And it's in its bag and it knows what it is. And, and I was like, yes, fuck yeah, it's awesome. So I'm excited.
The show's hilarious and it has a ton of heart.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Reservation Dogs. All right. I think we're up to our world famous double feature.
That is correct. All right, what do we got?
All right. What's in the water? In honor of Meg.
And the Meg 2.
And Meg 2 and shit
In the
trying
summer.
to kill you. Shit trying to kill you in the water forever since Jaws and before Jaws. All right, man.
I want you to go first. You
want me to go first? I'm gonna throw something out there that I don't think a lot of people have seen, and it really surprised me. You might not like it, but you got to give it a chance. And it's a little movie called Underwater, starring.
That's the name of the movie?
That's the name of the movie, dude. All right. It came out in 2020, and it stars Kristen Stewart, Jessica Henwick, TJ Miller, heard of him? Vincent Castle. Yeah, and I think that's everybody you've heard of. But yeah, man, it's a movie. They're scientists. It's like picture the abyss, kind of like they're in a thing underwater, and then something happens, and oh no, evacuate. What's in the water? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's something. But it's like set like in the near future, and they got these crazy spacesuit kind of looking scuba gear shit, and yeah, it was. I was like, I found myself enjoying it.
Okay. I've never heard of this. So now I'm like super curious.
It's on Hulu.
Well, shit. There you go.
Oh, it says premium subscription. What does that mean? Directed by William Eubank. I don't know who you know that is. But yeah, Underwater. Check it out.
Dude, how many like layers of subscriptions do we need for these fucking things now?
I know.
Like you got like the regular one, there's the ad one, then there's ad free one, and there's like the premium one, then there's the add-on fucking freebie one, and like, dude.
And then Paramount with Showtime. I'm like, what the fuck?
So many. But anyways. Many. So all right, speaking of my one, hilarious enough, you've already mentioned it, The Abyss.
What? It's dope. What's in the water?
I'm almost hesitant to like even talk about more spoilers for that film. I mean, the main thing that's going to kill you in The Abyss is the water, because it's like it gets gnarly. There are some of the most amazing underwater scenes. This is like James Cameron just doing his thing, like takes an idea and just fucking puts the pressure, and you're just like, oh shit, oh.
Isn't this crazy that this is like the bottom, like this is his floor? You know what I'm saying? And like his ceiling's up here, and this is his floor, like The Abyss. You know what I'm saying? As far as like what he has unlimited potential. His ceiling is up here. You know, Terminator 2, you know, everything, Titanic, Avatar, whatever. And this is his bottom, The Abyss. The Abyss is fucking amazing. And that's his bottom.
Shit. I remember watching it when it first came on HBO, because I didn't watch it in theaters. We were like,
Mm-hmm.
But when it was on TV, I was like transfixed. I'm like, this movie is amazing. Like, it does not stop.
Yeah.
And you're right there in it. It's super textured. I mean, and then it does this whole sci-fi thing. You're like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah. The character development of everybody, man. Like you are invested with everybody on the whatever you call it, the
rig.
The rig, yeah. Yeah. You're invested in everybody. That little fucking white mouse, rat, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, you want him to drown?
Yeah.
Oh man, that movie's gnarly.
And I'm like, and just the concept of like, remember when they're like, oh, you have to drown to breathe, kind of like thing. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not drowning to breathe.
Like, that's nuts, like nuts. But
they start doing the funky chicken, like, oh, and you're like, oh, you're a fish man now. You're Aquaman. Oh, I'm Aquaman.
That movie 100% sells. I mean, holds up. That movie's like, oh, it'll get you. And I don't like small spaces with water. And and if you want to look up something interesting, you look up like the making of The Abyss, where they actually filmed like 90% of the film underwater in this rig in this giant water tank. They said it was just like a nightmare to film. That's what James Cameron does. He chooses like the hardest things to do and just does them. Like, shit.
Yeah.
But so
Michael Bean being a crackhead, like, hey bro, get off the coffee, dog.
Yeah.
The guy was on one the whole time. He's like super paranoid and like, don't touch that. Like, damn, that guy
He's got the thing. I forgot what they call it. He's like, I've seen him. You see his eyes? He's got the thing.
Yeah.
It shakes. I don't know, man, but yeah. Fantastic film. Shit, I want to watch that shit now.
Yeah. It actually turned out to be a pretty good combination. I've seen both of them, so you know, both actiony, like suspense, what's in the water.
You'll freak out at some of the stuff in the abyss. I'm like, oh shit.
But yeah, I definitely for being an underwater film, it's definitely bright. It's like blue. It's a blue. Mm-hmm. It's a blue film. Underwater is more. It's darker. It's a darker film, so you want to watch that in the dark.
Cool. All right, there we go. Another winner.
Right. Another winner. Good job, man. Underwater in the abyss. I like it. All right. And dude, Kristen Stewart didn't annoy me in the movie, which is
just starting to get there.
A plus. That's our show, man. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe. Leave comments and recommendations. Are we missing anything? Let us know. Any secrets out there? Any secret shows? Let us know. I'm Francisco.
And I'm Andres.
Have a great week. 2 nerds, 1 pod. Vámonos. Let's go. Put on the list.